Greetings fellow Decepticons, Sandblaster1987 here, continuing my TFNation 2018 haul reviews with 2009's Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, Voyager class, The Fallen. Also known as Megatronus Prime, one of the original 13 primes of Cybertron's prehistory. This is the one that basically betrayed and murdered 11 of his 12 brothers in order to maintain absolute power by using his device for Star Harvester to drain energy from the Earth's sun. And that's all I'm going to say, because the rest will be spoilers for Revenge of the Fallen for those who haven't seen it yet. Moving on, this vehicle mode has been completely designed by the toy designers because the Fallen never actually transformed in the movie. According to fellow reviewer RuneScape 228, this is known as a Cybertronian destroyer spaceship / attack vehicle. And I've got to say, it does look pretty intimidating with all its spikes and, you know, everything that makes it look all sinister and evil, including the dark colours with the orange highlights. Very intimidating. Although, as is tradition there, Cybertronian modes for Bayverse figures, completely hollow. Also, it doesn't disguise things very well. As you can see, the hands are completely visible at the sides here, as are the feet at the back, and just one move later and you reveal the face. Not the best design, Hasbro. Try again. Just as well, Studio Series is making a new version of this guy next year. Moving on. For size comparisons, we have the Takara Legends Times Return Deluxe Blur in vehicle mode, as well as his Titan Master partner here. We'll get back to them when we compare the sizes in robot mode. Now, again, I bought this loose at TFNation from the Space Bridge dealer table, if I remember correctly. Thanks to them for selling me this guy, and thanks again to RuneScape 228, whose review taught me how to transform this thing, since I didn't get instructions with it. So, one last thing about the vehicle before we transform it. It has landing gear that can be retracted easily. Now, to transform the Fallen from vehicle mode to robot mode, first disconnect the forearms from the back of the vehicle and bring them down and out of the way. Next, disconnect the shins from the shoulders. Swing the hips downward, retract these front spikes. Use this hinge here to bring the hips outwards. Swing the shins around, swing the feet around, so he's got the digitigrade legs of most movie Decepticons. Not all, but most. Starscream comes to mind when thinking about this. So, repeat for the other side. Bring this back panel down, out of the way for the time being. Rotate the waist 180 degrees. Bring the shoulders down, out of the way. Oops. And not very well engineered, this thing. The forearms keep popping off mid-transformation, so word to the wise. And the hinges are pretty stiff as well, that's not helping. So, shoulders disconnect from the back of the collar and come down. Forearms and elbows come down. double hinge these pieces of the forearms backwards to uncover the hands. Rotate the wrists. Careful, because the hands are made of rubber and you don't want to tear them off. Then move these shoulder spikes into position. And finally, take these rubbery bits at the back of the forearms and connect them to the ones on the hips. Because it's all made of rubber, it can be a bit of a fiddle, getting it all aligned properly. And flip the vehicle mode cockpit up onto his back. Spread the toes so he can actually stand. Make sure everything's all balanced. And the fallen is complete in robot mode. That was a bit of a fiddle, but it was worthwhile for this terrifying robot mode. You can certainly tell he was the first Decepticon, can't you, with that colour scheme, the spikes thing. The ribbing around the edge of his face that makes him look really old and like he's seen his fair share of battles. Whoops. Also, he has a gimmick. Unlike most Revenge of the Fallen figures, he doesn't have a mecha-like feature of turning gears or whatever inside the body. Instead, he has a load of spring out and flip out solar panels. Bring the head forward and a pair of solar panels snap out from behind his face. He also has a couple on his arms here as well. Now, despite all this translucent plastic, he doesn't exactly have good light piping in this mode because of all the kibble on his back restricting it, plus also the shape of his head restricts the use of translucent plastic due to the springs in the mechanism in his neck. He's not really all that poseable either, despite being a Revenge of the Fallen figure, because these rubber bits connecting his forearms to his waist, while they are show accurate, movie accurate, they do unfortunately restrict his arm and waist movement. It is movie accurate to leave him this way, but if you want to get proper posing out of him, you have to disconnect them. Then, once you do, he has universal shoulders, the forward and back motion being on a ratchet joint, swivel and hinge in the elbows, though be careful because the forearms can pop off this way, a hinge and a swivel at the wrist, and each hand somehow has 8 fingers instead of 5. He's got the sideways tilt in and out of the hip for transformation and a forward and back ratchet. He hasn't exactly got much of a knee bend due to the way his shin armour falls. Now, for size comparisons, here is Revenge of the Fallen Lockdown Deluxe Class. Not much of a difference, is there? This is because Lockdown is always known for having a Deluxe Class Vehicle mode and an incredibly tall for his size class Robot mode, or as P. Adams calls it, Deluxe Plus. He's the size of a Voyager in Robot mode and the size of a Deluxe in Vehicle mode, and he's sold as a Deluxe. Both Animated and Revenge of the Fallen Lockdown have this problem. Age of Extinction Lockdown, not so much. And that is just about it for Revenge of the Fallen. Join me next time as I complete my TFNation 2018 haul with Universe 2 Blaster, the Cybertron Voyager Soundwave repaint. Until then, till all.